Um, so today is the 7th of January 2026, and we're watching um, the works done in Charleston Harbour, just to keep my record of what's going on in the historical port of Charlestown. And maybe this can help future generations when they want to see anything about the work done in here and whatever. Yeah, just exciting to see this. So now they got a lorry in there with some platforms and some trailer stuff. So I wonder what are they going to take, if they're gonna take. Oh yes, I think they just remove the bricks, those grey concrete bricks that they were using to. No, what the heck are they doing there? I think I'm gonna zoom to where those workers are, because I want to see what that crane is actually taking out. And that is a little bit to the right. Sorry, I got this. Something heavy. Oopsie. Okay. Right. I'm just stabilizing my tripod. That is just there. I'm gonna get my binoculars. I'm blind. Oh, there is a little boat down there going backwards and forward. I'm not sure what they're doing. There is the doors in there, massive metal doors. They are actually holding the water inside of the harbor, because the harbor is an artificial harbor. It's not like a river coming down and it's being stopped and then you get fresh water in there stuck. No, that is the water that comes from the sea, and then they go in there, fill up the harbor, and then they close the doors and the water stay inside of the harbor. There is some drainage that come from the hills and they goes in the harbor, but it's not enough water to keep a harbor full. It's not a river, it's just, it does look like a little sewage actually coming out. It's just the drainage from the mountains. So the doors that they are actually, they replace it for new ones, because the ones that were in there before is like the 1800s, Victorian, before Victoria. Yes, before Victorians, the harbor in there. Oh, probably Victorians. Anyway, they replaced it because the other ones were already too worn out, corrosive, and it wasn't doing their job. It wasn't holding the water inside of the harbor. So the thing about this is that they replace it with these ones, and there's an electric mechanism in there. This mechanism, this engine, is the one that opens the gates, but it does the gates. The gates, not the bridge. That's not the bridge that are gonna be there. There is another bridge that is placing to one side. They haven't placed it yet, but there is another bridge, and that bridge lifts up when they open the gates so ships can come in and out. And they usually keep two massive tall ships inside of the harbor, the heritage ships. And because this is a World Heritage harbor, it does look pretty cool. So people come and see it, and tourists come and see it. So I hear a clicking noise down there, and I think that has to do with the people fixing and doing stuff in there. I don't know if you can see. Oops, I really got this one. I got my phone placed in a very dangerous way here. Sorry. Look, all the stuff. Anyway, going close. Sorry, a little bit moving. Okay, steady. There. You can see there. Let's leave it. Okay, focus. There are people down there fitting some stuff and using some tools and checking the where the door is and doing some stuff. And they are on a small boat checking out. I wanna find something to place the phone to this side so I can keep it steady, because otherwise it's not going to record this properly. Morning, Maria, Mia. Hey, Danny. Good morning. It's 9 o'clock in here, and we are catching these guys doing working in the harbor. So I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. If I zoom completely out, we're not gonna be able to see what's going on in there. So sorry if the image is not that great. So yes, down there, the gates are closed, the gates to the harbor, and they are removing or doing something. They must be still working on the engines. Right, there you go, the massive crane. That's huge. If you see that crane compared with the one that is been sitting around, that is a massive crane. Let me open a little bit the zoom. And again, I apologize for that. So look at the crane and compare it with the other one that is in there. Look at the building next to it. It's like a 3-story building, and that is high up in another level. Prevent flooding. So not sure what this crane is going for. I'm gonna do a zoom there to see if we can actually. I'm up and live streaming. Right, so right, what I was doing. Oh yes, I was staring. What did I took? Okay, they are lifting the box, and there is someone inside that. I don't know if you can see the smoke coming from one side of the bridge, left side of the bridge. There was some steam coming up, so I think that have to be with the engines in there. Right, they're taking him down. Hey, Northern City, how you doing? So yeah, we are looking at some man at work. Right, what I am wondering is, what are they trying to take out, or what they brought in that they had that truck in that side? There is a crane, blue crane, but there is a truck with two platforms in the back, two trailers, very long trailers. So I'm wondering, are they going to move those boxes down there? I don't think so. Those are the offices for the people who are working on the harbor. But why are they doing what are they doing there? Right, I'm gonna place you back in there so the phone can focus, and apologize for the quality. It's in Zoom, so it's quite pixelated. But they did remove the concrete blocks, that is a fact. I don't see them on the water. They usually look a little bit stick out. They're pretty cool. Right, let me move a little bit the view to see where the crane is going. Shall I open a little bit the zoom? Maybe it's gonna be swinging around. Yes, I'm gonna open a little bit the zoom, so we got a bigger view, but it's gonna look quite far away. And it's not that far away. I got just like 3 cottages in here. There's, if I walk down there, it's just what, 30 meters? And from here, not even, yeah, it's like 30 meters. Anyway. Well, I can always go down there and just do to record a video and upload it. I cannot do the live stream. I did try on Boxing Day. There is no signal down there for phone. Dead zone. Right, let's go closer to see what is going on in there. The container to the left side, there a blue one, and next to it there is a smaller one, blue. I don't know, you can't see in the image. Those are the loo and the office, where they stay when they are working. It's just like, yeah, an office and a loo. Resting places for them. Rain. They go down in the harbor like a massive plastic platform that is floating, and that is where those guys are walking on top of. Hey, Mawali. Hello. Morning, Ben. I'm here again staring at these guys working. How are you? Did you fix the sound issue in the phone? Yeah, I noticed that. Hope you fix it. It was a lovely countryside you were showing yesterday. Right, close that door. I feel really noisy. Hey, Gucci, what's happened? I'm doing the live streaming of this, the work that's being done in here. And look, oh my gosh, they're taking it out. How cool is that?
What's inside that thing?
That's the box that was floating in there, was it? Or not? Maybe not.
No, it is.
Is it? Let me move you, sorry.
If I was one of the builders, I'd be so scared for one.
Yeah. Oh, pretty cool. So that's why that lorry's in there for. How you move that one around?
I never see them drive it here.
Lorries? Or the crane?
The crane.
Wow.
I always see cranes, but I never actually see them being driven.
No crane as big as this one. I took a cool and some was working at the live. That happened to me before. Yes, that happened, Ben. That happened to me before, and I didn't have volume in the live stream, so I just keep streaming like that because it was just image. But yeah, I do like cranes, and they look so amazing when you are driving in the motorway and you see them passing, and you think, wow, they're so massive. You feel like a little ant when your car is next to them. So they do have a small one, but I suppose that one doesn't have the power to lift off the box. They need to fix all this by this year because they had a deadline and they should open the harbor in summer. This should be done by summer, and it's been like this like for 3 years, and it's affecting the businesses around here because people just coming here to walk around that and go to the beach, and just it's a circle. You break that little area in there and then there is no flow, so just going to one side but you miss the other side. It's like a kitchen, you know, that you need to know where the sink, the fridge and the cooker is. If it's not placed properly, you don't have the flow and the thing doesn't work. It's the same like it here. That bridge and that gate for the harbor is just such an important thing for this harbor, and it's what keep the symmetry and the flow for the tourists because it's a tourist place. Now down there is a lorry, so I'm wondering, are they gonna place those boxes inside of the lorry? Are they taking them away? I didn't see what they were doing this. I heard the noise, the beeping, but I was too lazy to get out of bed and see. Because sometimes can be the bean man reversing, or the guys who do mostly beans, who got those beeping machines. Now he's going back and seems like he's gonna take another thing. So that lorry, it has two trailers in the back, two long trailers. So I'm wondering is if they're going to take these boxes out and place in there today, or they're just going to be doing fancy stuff. They don't work in the harbor every day. And when they did the works for the gates, they did wait for the tide to go down. I think I had a video of, yes, I did upload a small short video of how is that looking now. I think I'm gonna make a special tag for that, or maybe a playlist where I can keep this, like curating. Because this, to be honest, is an historical event. You might not see it that way, but this is a World Heritage UNESCO harbor. So the first time that they did this job was when the harbor was built. And this is the first time that everything in there is being replaced. So this groundwork, what they're doing in here, is being recorded and it's gonna be kept. So maybe in 100 years, people looking on YouTube are gonna find these videos and they're gonna make some amazing thing. Oh well, oh dear. And I'm not gonna be recognized by being the one staring. But yes, we are in here and we're looking at this. Oh, thank you, Ben. That's very nice. Very kindly double tap the likes and subscribe to our amazing host Maru. Thank you very much. That's yes. Now we got the second box out. Okay, could it be that they're gonna place one on top of the other one, like a double decker, and then lift both at the same time to place on top of the truck and take the whole thing together? You know what is very, very tricky, and I have seen it, is these lorries driving in the roads in here in the UK. From here, I think it's kind of easy because from here you can just go straight, you get a roundabout, and then go straight to the main roads, to the motorways. But in other places, you have to go through country roads, and it's so narrow and distressing. Oh my gosh, you still got that ribs. That's true. If you got a fractured ribs, it's not that like you're gonna just stay still. There is no way to bandage that, do anything. You have to be fixed by itself, isn't it? Just here reading Ben's message. She said, I'm staying in the chat house, just making coffee as I'm still recovering from fractured ribs. Oh, really, your ribs. You're very brave. Yeah. Psycho badger jumping on a biker boy. That's so distressing. At least it was a badger. I don't know if you meet like a deer jumping and then when once we were driving in Surrey and it was in this Roman road, it's just a straight line, and we were kind of a regular speed, and suddenly a pheasant just popped up out of nowhere and crashed against our windscreen, and it left a massive crack, a line horizontal in the windscreen, and it just kept flying, and we were like, massive pheasant. If it was something else, break the window, the windshield, and then hit us. Just a pheasant. How powerful are those? I don't know how it feels a badger jumping on you. Right, so they did. It was really scary. That um, the crack it was small, it was horizontal, but with the vibration on the road, it started growing, and at the end, we end up with a crack going completely the length of the windscreen. And it was in a small car. We were driving on an SUV, so yeah, we have to change the that glass windscreen. But I think it works when people actually find this meat deer on the road. But now I think badgers are the worst. They actually can fracture you. Right, the crane is going a little bit lower, like releasing the. Is it releasing the chain? Or is that they are actually connecting the other ones? Okay, so the orange guy that is next to the box is pulling the chain from the crane, the chain that is holding those boxes, and he's now moving it down to the box that's below. So I think they are going to move the two boxes all together to the truck, to the trailers from that lorry that's in there. Oh wow, that sounds amazing. A herd of over 40 deers. That sounds pretty cool. What I saw was we were driving to the house, and that's in countryside. By then, we were living near East Greenstead, that no, that area. Anyway, and we were driving, and we were living in a house that was in a farmland, and in the woodland there was what I thought it looked like a white llama, and it was jumping around. But when I look closer, like pay attention, it was a white deer, and it was running with a group of three other deer, but the other ones were like brown. And I was like, what an insane thing to see an albino deer in this place. I knew about the albino deer because in Scotland there is this belief of something amazing about the albino deer, but that one, it did look like, it was very young. It did look like a llama. I was like, it looked like a sheep, but with a long neck. So it looked more like a llama. So I saw like, what kind of creature is this one? And then I saw the other deers with him. It was pretty cool. They look really odd, but they are beautiful. White deer, albino one. But in my innocence, I just thought it's a llama and escape because in here there are people who kept llamas, and I have seen it in fields. So it did look like one, but without the fluffy hair. So yeah, There's one thing I do like about this country is the live hedges. You don't have metal hedges in many places, just your normal bushes separating fields, and that gave the chance to the the animals to cross happily. Okay, let's go and do a little zooming here. Hopefully this one doesn't look that bad. Not sure if the image is that amazing, but let's see what these guys are doing in there. They're reversing the lorry and they're gonna place those massive boxes. Not sure where they are, just two massive boxes in the back in the trailer of that lorry. And that's huge. If you see the size of the people down there and the boxes they are placing, oh my goodness, you got that one. That's so cute. That's a different type of deer, isn't it? Because I have seen just the brown ones. Well, we are in here, like Devon area now. That white one that I saw was, what is that? Sorry area. But we got this place near Starcross, Powderham Castle, and they keep deers in there in Powderham Castle. And I just have seen them just driving by that they hold a massive deer amount of deer, but there's no like wild creatures. Those are just deer that are being kept because they farm the deer for they sell products. Derivados, derivados. I don't know how to pronounce that in English. Yeah, but it's beautiful to see deers in the wild. And gorgeous is when you get a like after a day when it's snowing and the fields are white and you can see those deer just walking in the white snow because they are brown, then it's more easy to see them. There's no way to camouflage. Right, so why they're putting this one in the last trailer? So I suppose they got more heavy stuff to put in the middle one. That could be amazing. I really haven't seen the other ones. I have seen just the regular brown ones and that white one. But that was like the shock of realizing that I was looking at a odd looking llama, but it was a deer. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. What time are you gonna do that one? Are you do the live stream or you gonna just do your regular walk and then just make videos? And here I'm just stuck in seafront, so I just see water everywhere, and this is like the most amusing thing to see, just men at work. And I think just when there is a storm that you get amazing waves and you might see the cliff falling, that's not a good thing because it's dangerous. But yeah, nice to see live streaming of countryside. Looking forward to it. Right. So we're still looking at this. We got a massive orange crane. They left all these two boxes placed in the back of that lorry or truck if you are American. And there is the baby crane, the green one. And to be honest, I think the green one is quite big. But the orange is enormous. We do have an amazing view in here. And the most amazing one is this room that you have the open views. This was back in the day when this one was the like working harbor, because this is the harbor that they use for the China clay. They use this harbor to send the ships out of Cornwall through this harbor. So this road of cottages, the one there I am now, is the cottages that they used to be used by the Coast Guard. So the view of this cottage and the neighbor ones is open sea. So from here you can see amazing views from Parsan and other village they are in the coast and the cliff towards the lighthouse. So it's an open view of everything. So if there were pirates by that time. So if there were pirates coming, pirate ships, that gave the signal to the people in here. You could see them and then gave the alarm, the alert, and they prepared the cannons because behind this house there is a hill and there is what they call the battery, and it's where the place where they used to keep the battery, the cannons to attack the pirate ships. So it's a historical village, it's a little town, but it's historical, and most of the things are still intact. I think living close to the seaside is very good for children and for the health in general. I think people who live close to the seaside are look more healthy, more alive. And the fact that you are close to the water, going and do like I have seen people coming down to the harbor in the night just to do fishing. And it's amazing to see people who spend like from evening to night just sitting in the harbor with the fishing rods, catching fishes, and then they walk. Some of them bring the children, and they go out with these cooler boxes, and their fish just go home to have dinner. And I think people who like that lifestyle, they can be really happy in it. Oh my God, Jacqueline! Hello, darling. Yeah, I'm here. Very well. How are you? How was your Happy New Year? I like lakes, and I think one of my dreams is to have a lake house and be an old lady with a cute cottage by the lake. I don't swim, but I come from Venezuela. We got too many weird things going on the water. And you got rockfish, weaverfish, and lots of stuff that I don't think I would like to meet. Anyway, but that's like that, like having my lovely cottage, having a deck, and then having my barbecue in there, and just sitting in there with a book, reading or just listening to audiobooks and enjoying the life. Yeah, that's true. Wait a minute. Yes, before was Ash who joined a live stream, and Alex did. Alex did. How are you? How was your New Year, Jackie? Oh, my New Year was very chill because I spent it in here, and most of the houses in here are like holiday cottages, so they were empty. But there is there are two pubs down here and a restaurant, so I could hear the noise from there, and I couldn't see any fireworks because they were too far away. But it was kind of okay. I opened the window and I was feeling the breeze and doing my regular prayers for sending love to the universe and all the stuff that we South Americans do to our families, best wishes and all the stuff. Yeah, that's what we did for New Year's, Jackie. Yeah. No, but in Venezuela, my mom was raised from very little in the countryside. So when she got married, she moved to the city. And she spent in the city maybe, how long can be that one? Like 15 years? 15? That was my age, no, plus 10 for my brothers and sisters. Maybe 25 years in the city, and she was starting to get arthritis. So we moved back to the countryside, and in there, what she was doing is just farming, working on the field. And she was such a beautiful lady because my mom is she's descendant of Europeans. So you get that a lot in Venezuela, that you get people, lots of mix. And she was so white and blue eyes and very clean. And then she started working on the fields, and she is now a brown girl who's very skinny and very healthy, but she's just like roasted by the sun. That was the end of her looks of city girl. And she very happy. She loved her countryside. She got all her fruit trees and animals. She got funny stories about goats. She kept a goat and the goat escaped and then started eating the bark of her fruit trees and the fruit trees started dying and she was so upset, but she didn't want to get rid of her goats. So now she got her goats with a little lead and she walked them around dogs. Yeah. Oh yeah, Venezuelan. We are okay, no problem with that. We know what happened in Venezuela. We know Trump went in there and Trump got the president. And you're gonna find that many Venezuelans are happy, but social media sometimes can be quite annoying, and keyboard fighters are always in there. So you might find that internet saying something and actually the national sentiment said another one, that is, we're happy. Oh yeah, I did 2004, Jackie. Oh my gosh, ages ago. That was 2004 Miss Venezuela. I didn't win anything, just to leave it in there, but I did started my career modeling after that, and I did some work for TV in Venezuela, not famous anywhere, just Venezuela, and some things that were sold in advertisement that were sold in South America because it's products, South American products. But yeah, but I was in there, Jackie. I was in there. skinny as a twig, and a hair bigger than me. Yeah, I think we're lucky. We do have, like every country in the world, we do have the nice people and we do have our nasty piece of art. We cannot deny that one. But yeah, I think I have the chance. I haven't met South Americans in here, in England, but I have the chance to meet so many people from other countries, and that is a privilege that I don't have I didn't have in Venezuela. I'm not a celebrity. I am a chillax person. Oh, look at that. There's some people just walking random. Maru's a celebrity. You know, I can say that I do have my fan base, and I think the head of my fan base is my mom, who keeps all my pictures and my posters and everything related to me and the clothes and everything. Bless her. And my nieces and nephews. I think that that's good enough for me. Wandering spiders. Wait a minute. Not like Australia. No, we don't have it like the Australians. And we don't have death by spiders. I think we are more dangerous by violence, actually, to be honest. Or maybe by doing things like swimming in rivers without health and safety and we drown. I think we got more problems with ourselves than with wildlife. But we do have cute pink dolphins in the rivers. I have seen them. River brown and the dolphin look pink. Very cute. You know, we had in my uncle's house, they had the loo outside the house. So every time you wanted to go to the loo, you have to walk outside the house and go to a little hut. It had all the facilities, but the light in there was really bad. So usually there was no light inside of the loo. And you bring a torch or something, but who's gonna be going there? You know there is nothing wrong happening. So when you go there, usually these skinny leg spiders, quite big, it can be like the size of your hand because of the length of the legs. So they put all the lines everywhere, and sometimes you're walking, and if you touch one of the lines, they just jump at you, and like they realize, oh, that's not the target, and they just go away. But it can scare you. Oh my gosh, I got a cough. Well, we do have border. We have border with Brazil. We share the Amazon, but the part of Venezuela that I come from is in the south, but Brazil is like a 5 hours drive from my hometown without crossing to any other country. 5 hours drive. We border with Brazil and with the English Guyana. And yeah, we do have quite creepy things in there. My dog, Jack, my dog Peachy, He's right now downstairs. He's being attacked by the winter fleas. Every time he goes outside, any fleas that is on the grass just jump at him. So I'm keeping him away from me. Wild backyard. I was once moving a, a dry log, something, near the house or the farm where my mom is. And I moved something, and there was a tarantula. How you call that one? Tarantula. I don't know how you pronounce that one in English. Tarantula? Well, a tarantula, big black spider, but it wasn't, it was big and hairy and black. But I feel sad because my first reaction was to squash it. And that was the end. So, and my heart was, I hope this one was not a rare species, an endangered species, or maybe a hybrid or something that's gonna be something for the world. But I killed it. And it wasn't my intention, but it's just, you are, if you are from a South American country and you know that anywhere you can have a rattlesnake or an scorpion or something that can actually be painful if they get you, then your first reaction is swas, get it before it gets you. And my mom, she's like that. She got, you get too many rattlesnakes around there, and she catch them. But it's that she's alone in the farm, and if something happened to her, there is no one who's going to go and help her. We don't have like the air ambulance that you have in here. You can call quickly the 999, and you go there, ambulance lifting you up, taking you to a hospital. She does have antivenoms and all those things, but you need to, it's survival if you're in the countryside in there. You know, Ben, in in the Amazon, because we got a county that's called Amazonas. That is Amazon name, like a female name for the Amazon. So we got that county, and this county, it has, is part of the Amazon rainforest. And to the south of Venezuela, you do have all these rock formation that are like billions of years old. And in there, there is a vertical, I don't, it's not sinkhole, but it's like a vertical cave, and it's called the vertical fossas of the Hawa Sarinyama. And there is a very old movie that is called Arachnophobia. And that movie was, the story was based on a spider that was found in one of those vertical caves in Venezuela. And I watched that movie, and I think after that, every time I see a spider, I feel goosebumps. I got scared, but we do have spiders, but those massive ones, yeah, you find them, but that must be very south towards the Amazon, the area. Because if in the rest of Venezuela, they must be extinct. But I did saw in not long ago some guys who were driving a bike in the mountains, and they saw cars coming and going, but there was a massive spider crossing the road, and they just, well, they were wearing gloves. They lifted up and they just helped it to cross the road because it was going to get squashed. Yeah. Um, I am not arachnophobic, but I squash them. I just feel the distress in my heart. I squeeze my heart and I find the first flip flop nearby and just go kadoosh. You know, horrible is in here is the spiders go on hibernation on winter. They go the period and they come out on spring. Of course, in some places are cold and some places it's got you nice and warm, a little bit warm, and then you can find spiders outside or indoors, but they are actually hibernating. So one day I was under my duvet and I was fiddling with the, I don't know, reading online stuff. And I was so focused and I felt my hair tickling my face. And I was like, why my hair is tickling my face if I am under the duvet and there is no breeze that can move my hair. And suddenly my hair tickling moved to my cheek. And I just took the duvet off my face and moved the face away. And all this is happening in the night because I'm hiding under the duvet reading and the lights are off. So I know something is in my face. I don't know what kind of creature it is, but I turn off the light on the phone and when I look at it, it was a spider. But is this a spider that got the long legs? They're not huge. I haven't seen a huge spider here in the UK, but this one has this massive leg, and I got scared, and I hated it because I don't like to be scared. Is that heart beating feeling? And my goodness, I just grab a book that I have nearby. I just place in top of the spider and just squash it. And after that, every time I went to bed, I have to go around moving, do this and that. And I got my spray to kill bugs and going in every single little corner. If you live in a cottage, you're gonna find that you got plenty of spaces, like the wood planks and roof and beams and stuff where they can hide. There is always a place for them. So that one got me. I was the first time in here. I got a spider got me in the UK. But I know they are not poisonous. Banana spiders. Yeah, those are the ones who usually hide in banana trees. But you know what? That's the thing about our mentality and creatures, like spiders, scorpions, or that stuff. And if you don't disturb them, if you don't poke them, they're not gonna attack you. They're not gonna defend themselves because we're so big. It's like, I don't know, little bird in the back of a lion or something like that. We're so big, and they might be actually scared of us. So, yeah, if you don't poke them, don't disturb them. They will know defend themselves. Hmm. Well, the spiders, the only one that I've seen that was that tarantula. That was the biggest spider I've seen, and it's that one, black one. huge. But Ben, have you ever seen the crocoroches in Venezuela? I think for the size of the crocoroche, you do need big spiders. Like in the city, we got this, sorry to say, bloody cockroach that fly. It's not just to see a cockroach running around, but that you can actually see a cockroach flying towards you. And it's not that they are dangerous or anything, it's just they are disgusting, yucky. So, yeah, yeah. I think yeah, you have to keep your friend spiders around. They can do the pretty good job getting those creatures. Now, this is in the city. And I'm talking about the cities in Venezuela that the one that I come from is in the south and you're surrounded by, how can I say, national parks, waterfalls and things like that. And you get that type of creature going on. Yeah. And you get yeah, nasty cockroaches. Jack, in here is a 10:15 in the morning. Yay! Maybe the ones in the cities are not that huge, but I think they can be bigger than my thumb. I don't know. I know other countries they find those creatures delicacy and stuff, but I squash them. My sister screams every time she sees one, and I am the youngest, and they all push me. Go and kill it, Maru, kill it! They said, dear me. I did that, but then when you grow up and you actually find out that they actually make a sound when you squash them, it's not very pleasant to remember. Boo, no. Right, they're taking the other crane. The crane's moving the other boxes. That's good, that's good. Good. Good morning, girl. Are you doing your face yoga? Do you know, Jackie, I start doing face yoga. It seems like if you can pump your cheeks, you can make your, I don't know, lift your brows and do all the stuff just by doing face exercises. I look quite funny because I'm walking around moving my face like a monkey. I think, Ben, those are boxes that they put in the harbor inside. Not sure what they were doing. And yes, because they are I think they are just empty boxes. They were floating in there and they were kept together. So I think they were using those like a kind of platform to work on the uh, engine that open and close the doors for the harbor. You know, there is one that open and close the doors and then lift the bridge so boats can go in and out. So I think they used that one to make like a solid ground for the workers to do their job. Yeah, oh my goodness. Yes, face yoga, Jackie. Because I'm scared of needles. Let's start for that. I have no tattoos or anything that. The ears, I got the pierced, but imagine that one ear got pierced and it took 1 week to do the other ear. And that's what, because they stopped me and they told me, would you like to go around just with one ear pierced? Let's do the other one. Oh, but they didn't tell me if we remove the earring, the hole is gonna close. No. So they did 1 week later my other ear. So I'm scared of needles. Not for the piercing, but it's just I'm a coward with needles. Yeah, kryptonite. Don't show me a needle. I close my eyes and just pray. So many of the cosmetics or things that people are doing now for the face includes pinching, punching, cutting, and all the stuff, and everything got needles on it. So I don't like it. I'm scared. So I just doing exercises for my cheeks. I'm embracing my Audrey Hepburn. Become age gracefully and beautiful with style and grace. Oh, Ben, father and son is Ben. He's a friend from the UK and he does live streaming with his son, and they do amazing stuff. And now he's actually recovering from a great fracture. He had an encounter with a badger. He does wild things. Oh no, it's not about the teenagers, but I will have a very amazing cheeks, plumps. So if you see them, you might want to pinch my cheeks. Oh, that sounds quite odd, but yes, in the right way. Yeah. Oh, I think the girl that I actually am following, I think she's from Philippines. If I'm not mistaken, she's on Facebook and she does these exercises and she got such a pretty cheeks. But the picture of her before that, it's like that's the thing that we don't do the exercises for the muscles in the face and the face start looking like it's melting, but actually it's the muscles that are not holding anymore the skin properly. It's losing strength and we lose collagen and then we all the face, the skin is like starting falling. Hey Ben, there is there is a face yoga for boys as well. So if you want to keep a youthful face with amazing muscles, not just exercise your body, you need to exercise the muscles on your face. There is some guys on Facebook, I saw them. And it's becoming a trend now, like doing exercises for the face. Oh, Jackie, I met Jackie. I'm following this amazing boy. He's from Taiwan and he live stream his delivery service. So in a bike. So he got such a cool camera that when he does the live stream, it's not moving, not shaking, and not pixelated. So it's like you are in their front row riding a bike in Taiwan. And he's such a lovely person. He's so amusing. And he got this thing with people that it doesn't matter where you are from, which language you speak, he knows a word to say hello to you in that language. and it's very, very nice. He's called Alex, and he does the delivery. Very nice. I haven't seen it. He's actually. So yeah. Hey Jack, when are you gonna start? Oh, Jack is a singer. She's an artist, but she doesn't want to do live streaming of her singing. Very nice. Oh. I don't know if you can see these two fellows walking up the hill. They're a man and a woman. The guy is actually holding a fishing rod. How cool is that? I wonder which way he's gonna go to do some fishing. Right, so we got 4 containers of, well, the boxes that they have in there in that lorry. And they did that with amazing crane. So if one day in 100 years someone want to come and see what is going on in what happened to Charleston, so we do have this going on. Sorry, I don't think I can edit that part when I said that you're a singer, Jack, and in this live stream. So when people come and see this video looking for historical records of what happened in this harbor in 2016, I'm talking in 100 years, then they will all know by then that there was a girl called Jack who was a singer and was watching this live stream. Yeah, yeah, Jacqueline, you should upload one of your videos singing beautiful. You said that last year, didn't you? You were going to sing with Alex. Right, I think that the work they're gonna do today down here in this harbor was this one, just to clear up these 2 boxes. Um, yeah, you see, when you are little, as many boys, you get your Lego set, you get lorries as gift, you'll get cranes, toy cranes, and all this stuff. And it's so cool to go to the sandpit just to play with it. But when you are a big boy and you work in construction and you get all that stuff, I wonder if you, as a boy who grow up playing with these toys, feel the same excitement of being driving or manipulating this kind of machinery around or putting blocks one on top of another one. That's I'm curious about that. My dad did have a lorry when I was little, and he used that lorry was to bring produce from the countryside, like corn or the other produce from farmers, to the city, and then send it to the market and then in there someone was in charge of taking that and distribute it. So he was just the person who went to the countryside, took the things out, brought it to the market, and we didn't manage that. And later he did it as a source of income, was to go to the countryside, bring produce in his massive lorry, take it outside, and distribute it to small vendors, and from there he got an extra cut from that income. Straw bales. Mm-hmm. What straw bales? No, but no. Oh, you're talking about the cow feed. That's straw balls of stuff. Oh no, he didn't do that. No, we're in South America. We just have grass everywhere. You don't need to those straw bales or anything like that. And we don't have winter. It's just two seasons, just dry season and rainy season, and there is grass everywhere. And even if you want that, you just go to your field and cut it and place inside of your animal feed. Yeah. You see, I never read straw bales before. I have heard the word, but reading it gave another confusing sense. Straw bales. Right. So seems like that's gonna it's being secure. Mm, no, no, no. Um, in Venezuela, if you for animal feeds or anything, they just it's a green country, and you had just the two seasons, and there is always grass in the field, so you don't have the need unless you kept animals in I don't know in maybe for calf or something that you need that, but you just go and grab it straight from the fields. What he did was like corn in Venezuela and many South American countries is a staple food. So they buy the corn. If it's dry, they just send it straight to the silos and they keep it there. Oh, Jackie. Well, it was lovely to see you here, darling. And I hope if I am again in live streaming, I get to see you here or in Alex's live stream. I haven't been in Alex's live stream. I need to go there. Wait a minute, eat dinner. I thought it was 6 in the morning. Wait, it's not 6 in the morning in there. Right, I think you're telling me. Big hug, Jackie. Such a lovely girl. So yeah, we do use the corn mostly for human consumption, and we have most of our food is based on corn. I suppose like many countries in South America, look at Mexico, they plenty of things made with corn, tortillas, and many dishes. And you know what? Corn is gluten free, and you can actually get lots of nice dishes made with corn as the staple food. No need to be eating, I don't know, pasta or bread or stuff. You can actually have nice things made with corn. Right, so this lorry left. There we can see the back of the lorry. Still there a little bit. Right, there you go. And it's gone. So that was the lorry who took 4 containers from here, and it was moved around by that crane. And I think the activity in here is gonna cool down because people are actually having their lunch. That looked like lunch. Wait a minute, what time is it? No, that's the 11 says. And that is, oh goodness gracious with this phone. Sorry. There you go. One thing I learned here is that Cornish people from Cornwall, and I don't know if you have that one in your counties or wherever you are. No, they had the 11 says. It's not brunch, it's the 11 says. They had the breakfast and they eat like between 9 and 10, and then they had the lunch and they had the tea and they had something else after. And then it reminds me a lot of the Hobbits. They had like 2 breakfasts. Yeah, something like that. Is that's Cornish, Ben? That we had a person in here who he came to fix some I don't know, it was a lamp or something that he was going to replace, and he came early. He was doing his job, and then he stopped, and we were like, "Oh, it's finished." And he said, "No, it's my 11 says," and I was like, "What?" He had the breakfast. He had that 11 says that was like from 9 to 11, that period there is a time where they have to have extra food, and it's so I found it so amazing how all these little details, if people actually pay attention, they can find out that this Tolkien guy, he really took a lot of the English, the Scottish, the Welsh, the Irish, every little bit of all the culture, all the quirk of the people, and put it in that book. And it's very nice. And it does take a big smile on your face. Right, let me see. I just doing focusing the camera to the crane that they are again doing something in there. Now I wonder if that one is is something that they have because of when they were working in the mines, you didn't have the time to, I don't know, have a regular meal, so you have to have your meals break in times. That's something kind of interesting to actually do some research about the famous 11s. Right, that crane is still working in there, taking something out. Let me get closer. Oopsie, sorry. Mm-hmm. Such a shaming here because I don't know if you can see there is a man walking. He just stopped to the left side at the bottom, left side. He's wearing like a gray jacket, and there is another person coming as well. Down there, that used to be the coastal path, and the coastal path used to go all the way around in front of this house, all in the cliff next to it. And the erosion and the unstable rock, maybe 5 years ago, it took down part of the coastal path. So they can just walk into a little bit in here, and that's it. But before, you could actually see all the coast and all the view of this town from the cliff, just like the cliff up there. And it was such an amazing view. Now they need to go through the fields in the back of the houses. It's still cool, but you just miss that. How powerful is our inspiring feeling of walking and being looking and going up there in the fields. Now I wonder what they're gonna lift off from there. I wonder if they just 11 says for the Cornish people is just about eating pasties. I think if I apply to my lifestyle the set meal from Cornish people or the Scottish people, I'm gonna be a heavyweight person. No mouse. Uh-uh. You want in? No, not happening. I do like pasties. I know some people don't like pasties. I do love scones. And it's heavy, but clotted cream and strawberry jam, you really, it does really make you feel like a lady. But the thing is that when you eat it like a savage because it's so delicious and crumbly. Oh my goodness, look, the Lord is coming back. Let me. So they are gonna keep taking things out of there. Look, I don't know if that must be. That's another lorry. That's another lorry. It's reversing inside of the pier. I do like pasties, and I think I haven't tasted that pasty that they say was sweet and savory. That they mentioned that is the one that the miners used to eat. That is like you get the part where you eat, you savor it, and to the other side it was like a sweet feeling. So you can eat like your main and your pudding in one whole pasty. So I'm not sure how that works. I think that must be the last one because they do have today. Uh, well, they did brought the massive crane that wasn't in there yesterday. It came today, and they usually bring it just to move heavy things. But today they're doing kind of a lot. Look, they're moving another massive box. Yeah, those are the boxes that were floating in the harbor, and they were using it as a platform to keep things going. Sure, sorry. That which way they're going. I think I need to move this. Put the zoom out a little bit. Sorry if I'm messing with your eyes, my friends. I'm just trying to fix the zoom. Right. Oh my gosh, that's a long thing. That's huge. That is huge. I think that's going to fit in the platform on the back of the lorry. So I can go later when the light is nice and the things look cute to take a video of how the harbor looks now. Because I have taken videos of it. And you can see in my short videos in YouTube, there is videos of from the harbor down there and from the other side. It does look very pretty. And the nice thing in here is that in the harbor down there, there is, I don't know if you can see it, there is a box in there, it's called Charlestown Fish and something, and there is, next to it is a barbecue place. In summer, it's always full of people having dinners or lunch in there, and they have live music. So sometimes there's people coming with a guitar or something, and you get nice music. And because they are below, and it's like an acoustic, it gave the acoustic sound. From where I am, I can hear if it's on a speaker. All the noise comes very clear and very nice. It is very pretty. It is very pretty. We usually go staying here for the holidays because this is the family's holiday homes. But we are actually in Devon and we're gonna stay here for some days. But yeah, Devon and Cornwall. And that's because I really don't like the cold. We were living before in Yorkshire, but that's too cold, and we got to go to the moors, and we nearly died in there. The car didn't have any grip, and we would have this car with double traction, 4x4, and all the stuff, and we were just sliding down a hill, and then we saw a small little car, like a, I don't know, a tiny car, but it had the winter tires, and it was just driving fast and past us, and we were so embarrassing. It just like we have this amazing SUV 4x4 with all these special gears inside, buttons and state of the art, and then a little car just passed by. It was terrible. So when you come in here, you let me know, Ben, and if I am still here, so we can fix something around. We usually go from here, is we would take the walk towards the lighthouse, and it can be maybe a 2 hours walk, but in my case it take me maybe 3 hours because I like to stop and breathe and relax my little muscles. But it is very, very cool, and there are lots of beaches on the way down to the lighthouse, and that is that way. Let me show you. Okay, let me open this view a little bit, and it's that way. Let me go. Sorry. Okay, you go there, you cross the bridge in here and go all the way up there, and that's the coastal path, and continue, and there is still lots of land that way, and you pass through a town and then go back to the Parsan beach, and from there go up the hill to that coast, and then you walk all the way in a footpath where you can actually look down and you see the cliff, and at the end there is the lighthouse, and from there if you keep walking you can go to other towns like Foy. And I think it's a nice place, but I think in no rainy season. And it's not that it's bad in rainy season, it's that it gets slippery. And if you're walking coastal path when it's slippery, personally, it scares me because you don't know what is below you. Because you see bushes, but you don't, if you actually pay attention, it must be just a dead drop, and it's scary. So, yeah. Oh, that's very kind, Ben. That is very kind. That's most appreciated. So, yeah. It's very nice. You are not close to the coast, no? Sorry, let me do a zoom in this one because I want to see what these guys are doing. There, I'm zooming it up. I think that's the last one. Otherwise, they're gonna just lift off another box. Unless they're gonna tie that box over this one that's already there. You know, one thing that I do enjoy in here is when they do the regatta, because everything happening there, so you can actually sit in here and watch down what's going on. And when the tall ships come in or out of the harbor, it's just looking them doing the maneuvers. Massive ship in such a small harbor, and they just do it so swiftly, so beautiful. oh, you get the seals over there. That's so cool. You know, Boxing Day, there was one, I saw just one seal in the water. And I was like, oh, I would love to take a video of that seal. But it was just the nose of the seal. And it just looked like a wet dog. And I thought, no, there are too many dogs around. And that's just a little nose popping up that doesn't have much to show. But I have seen, yeah, I have seen videos of people like doing, what is that one? They run and catch the seals who get things like stuck on them, like fishing wires and stuff, and they hold the seal, cut the stuff, clean it up, put some antiseptic or something, and then just release the seals. And I found that kind of cool. I don't know in which part is that one that's happening, but there is some places that they do that, and it does look amazing. Are you going in there with your son? With the part of the father and son's wildlife experience? Yeah, I think they're gonna put. Are they gonna put another one? No. My gosh, riding a motorbike with a broken ribs. You are so powerful. Like, I will be like walking with a walking stick, complaining with a hand in my hips. Like, I don't know, remember the beginning of the earth, when I came from, when I was born, everything, and complaining. Walking, and every step I'm gonna be like, ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Anyway, that's me. I don't like pain. I haven't had a broken bone in my life. And once when I was little, I twist my thumb back trying to stop a ball when I was playing volleyball, and my thumb went backwards. And I just hold my thumb, put it between my legs, and squat down, and I cry and I cry. That was dramatic. And after that, I never played volleyball again. And my thumb was never the same. You know, I am being no, I'm not really obsessed, but I don't drive in here. I'm scared of left hand side driving, and it's been so long since I got into a car and actually drove that. But I always wanted a car with a roof tent, or a car that is like a camper van, one bed camper van style, tiny, that can go everywhere. And there's so many gadgets that you can actually place that can make it so cool, and you can go anywhere and be so comfortable. I like that one, and I wish I can have something like that and go somewhere. And I have seen like people going in the moors or going in here to the Dartmoor, in the tour, hay tour in Dartmoor. Oh, I saw in there people with this type of camper van style, but they were small. It's not something that's gonna take over the roads, and no, a bit more like a hazard. That's going. Sorry, me again. Sorry. Oops. It's just that it's moving again another thing. So there. My goodness. I going to the other side. You know what happened to my dad? Let me think. That was maybe in 2024. Hey, Witchy. Maybe, can you close the door? Maybe 2024. My 24. No, that was, yeah, maybe like that time. So what happened is that many people in Venezuela, they have bicycles to go around. So my dad, he knows how to drive motorbikes, heavy cars, and this and that. But he had this bicycle, and he used to go to town just to buy a fizzy drink, go and talk to his friends, and then he came back to the farm later. It take maybe half an hour in a bicycle, going up and down. So a friend of him was coming out of his farm, and he got his car, and behind he had a small trailer, and he said, "Oh, Carmelo, that's the name of my daddy, Carmelo. Oh, Carmelo, come, I give you a ride to the city." And my dad was like, "Oh, well." And he put his bicycle in the trailer in the back, and it was a small trailer. So the guy said, "Oh, come and sit in here," to be his co-pilot, sitting safely. And he said, "No, no, no, I go in here and I can hold the bag." And I think that was most my dad youthful spirit, like the adventure of the naughty spirit of the young boy who never die in a man's body, because in the heart we never age. We always have that kid that want to be naughty, who want to keep experiencing the things that gave you thrill, the things that you did when you were young. So he went in the back of this trailer, and the guy started driving. The guy forgot my dad, and in a curve he just went super speed. Yeah, your inner child. And then in a curve, he went super speed, and the trailer got unlatched from the toolbar, and the trailer got, you can parachute away, and with the trailer was the bicycle and my dad. And I didn't see that, but the guy, when he saw the trailer flying and saw my dad and the bicycle, he just stopped, and he just, I think, jaw drop. He didn't know what was happening. But they said that they saw the trailer, my dad in front, the bicycle, and the trailer behind my dad. And they saw my dad doing a somersault in the air, grabbing the bicycle and throwing it to one side and pushing the trailer. How he did that? Well, he was in his youth, he was an athlete, and he was good at whatever he was doing. He did high jump stuff, with the pole, that stuff. But when I talked to my dad, my goodness, he said to me, very proud, "Oh, Dorta, I was amazing. I took the energy of the emotion of this and I talking in very scientific way. And I pushed this one and I did a triple somersault and then I landed in this way." And I look at him. He had a fracture on his cheekbone. He got a massive bruise on his hips that went from part of his hips to his leg, like purpley black. And that cartilage in the chest that hold the ribs together. I don't know how they call it. This the plexus solar, plexus solaris. I don't know. It's that cartilage that hold the ribs in the chest, in the cavity. That actually got moved to one side, and he got a fracture on his collarbone. But he was so happy. He was alive. The eye, inside the eye, he had actually a bruise in the eyeball. He had a bruise inside of the eye, in the side where he fractured his cheekbone. He survived, but he survived. I think it was because of that quick reaction of his body. I suppose remembering when he was young, all the things that he did when he was in school, university, athletics, stuff like that. He actually he got all broken everywhere. And after that, he wasn't the same. His clavicle, you could see that the one bone of the clavicle was higher than the other one, and they just left that like that. He was fine. He was fine. All broken and fractured, but he was fine. But it's just the way that he told the story. And then the guy who was driving the car with this trailer, he was so sorry, and he came to my dad, and my dad was, he said, "You don't worry. I was the one who asked you to let me go in the back in the trailer, and you, it's not your fault. It was something that can happen to anyone." The guy was, he was such a love heart, because he actually gave this ride to my dad, and they are friends. They were friends. My dad passed away in 2019, but he had this. He was such a nice guy, and every time he saw my dad, he always, "Oh, Carmelo, let me give you a ride," and he never stopped doing that after this accident. And I think they became even closer. But how they told that tale together, the guy laughing, saying, "I just saw Carmelo flying next to me, and I saw the bicycle, and I saw the trailer," and they had just so much love telling about that. But yeah, just the pain in my dad just to see to stand up with all those injuries in his body was funny. And I used to tease him, because we had the word for potato in Spanish is papa, and how we said father in Spanish is papá, padre, or we call it papá. So the difference between potato and father in Spanish is just the accentuation. One is papá and the other one is papa. And I sat next to him and I said, "Oh, daddy, you used to be papa. Now I'm gonna call you papa, because your face is just like a potato." He cried, laughing, and said, "You evil child, don't make me laugh because it hurts a lot." My goodness, I couldn't help it. It's just, if he didn't react, he actually could be squashed by a trailer. And we're talking a metal trailer. It was quite big. He could be. So yeah, reckless man, all with the inner child messing around. So yeah, that was one of my daddy's adventures. He does have many adventures. But yeah, those things are things to remember and cherish. And I think if you're gonna do something, if you're gonna have adventures, there is always something that can go wrong, but Just trust in your abilities and don't panic. Look, Isabella, they did the other, that's the other lorry, and they're taking the things in there. What?
It's just the orange people look so funny from far away.
I know. I do think that they look like Lego men.
I'm gonna put them in my pocket.
Sorry, I'm gonna move this one a little bit in here. And from where we are, because we're not that far away, but the scale that we can actually see these people is just like Lego people. Okay, no worries. Yeah, so they look like that Lego man. And now the crane is going down. Sorry, I'm gonna move this one a little bit in here. Look at the scale of that man standing in the top of the boxes and the size of that crane. That is huge, my friends. Hello, Bane. Welcome back. Rights, Sun Adventures. I do follow this channel. Wait a minute, we need to put your blue name. There you go. I put your blue name. More easy to see. Okay, I don't know. Can you see the people next to that? Let me move this one a little bit. Below the bridge, I don't know if you can see them. There are some people working. There is some concrete blocks in there. And those concrete blocks they were using that to stop the sand and the debris from moving from the sea, because as I said before, the harbor, the water that's filling up the harbor doesn't come from rivers but come from the sea. So that goes inside. You're very welcome, Ben. The water that fills up the harbor comes from the sea. So what they did is they put some concrete blocks that it does look like Lego bricks, and they placed in there to stop the debris. And then it was when they actually clean up all the structure from the old bridge, remove all the broken bits, and they placed the new bridge, no, the new gate, sorry. The bridge is gonna be replaced, but not yet. They were working replacing the gate that hold the water inside of the harbor, because it was broken and everything was draining with the tide. Oh, that's so cute. Ben said, I sub on my second channel too. Will be a big supporter. Your channel is amazing and had great potential. Oh, that's really lovely to say, Ben. Thank you very much. I do want to try to get as much as I can of the things that are happening in this harbor, most as an historical archive, because I don't think they're gonna work in this harbor as they do now, maybe in the next 200 years, because it took them, I think, maybe 200 years to replace this gate and this bridge. So I want to leave this one for future generations. that's to say, I think many people are spending more time just trying to show appealing to the camera as individuals, but no, thinking of what can you leave for future generations that they can actually see and enjoy, just like we do when we see historical landmarks and think of the people who did it back in the day. Maybe how the Egyptians, just thinking about that, how did they do the pyramids? What methods they use? Well, in here at least we can record how they replaced the bridge, they changed the gates, and the job that they did. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of a big talk comparing myself with the Egyptians. I think if they had nicer papyrus and it was more easy to leave things in the stones, maybe if you leave this one set on the stone, might live longer than on YouTube database. So we got the second lorry in here, and what I call the Lego man because of the scale that to my eye they do look like Lego man. They're still working. Sorry, I'm moving again the zoom around and leave it the camera to refocus. And I think that is not sure, probably the last lorry that's gonna come to do that. It's already 11 in the morning of the 7th of January 2026. We are live from the port of Charlestown, a UNESCO heritage site where they are doing an amazing job at replacing a gate and the bridge with the same type of materials, the same structure, keeping everything as it should be, as the original, because it's a grade 2 listed harbour. So that is the crane, that is the lorry, and there are still people working down there. And sunshine is looking beautiful. See, so look, blue sky is clear, and it's an amazing day. And that thing that sounds in the background like Chewbacca is my little dog. I just in here giving a little report of what is going on in here for the record, because this one will be uploaded, and I just want more or less to remind people what is going on in here. And it's getting beautiful, look at that. It's so nice and sunny. Well, let's just see. And the wall. and seagulls. I should make a game called Spot the Seagull and let the people just watch the live stream all day long looking for the seagulls that fly by. There you go. I think the tide is gonna start going out because before we couldn't see the bricks down there. Not sure if you can see. Sorry, finger down there. Okay, my finger is kind of chunky. Down there, there is some sort of building blocks. This concrete made, and that is actually there's a little person standing in there with a white helmet and a green jacket. And there are two people wearing orange gear standing on the bridge. And to the left side, there is a guy tying up the ropes or security straps on that lorry. That is a very important job because that depends on health and safety people on the road. And there is some parts in here in the UK where the wind is so strong that can actually knock down the lorry. I think there is a boatman passing boatman that you actually can get knocked down by the wind. I have seen that one. Once we were driving and family was driving in a small car, a sedan, and they had these boxes in top where they put things. It's like a plastic or fiberglass, something look like that, plastic. They use it as a storage. They place on top of the car. We saw one of those being blown away, and the storage box in top of the car it just got open, and everything that they had inside was flying away. And I feel so sorry, but it was dangerous. That family actually stopped the car in a busy road, in a motorway, to pick up the things. I think they should have just put the sign and go to one side slowly, but no, they actually stopped the car. And the people, thank goodness the people around were like quick at thinking, and they drove to the side quickly, otherwise they could have crushed the people. But yeah, that was dangerous. Right, so these friends are doing something in here, and I don't know what is it, but let's zoom on them. I have compared the camera in live streams from Facebook and the camera in live stream with YouTube, and the camera in Facebook give you better quality on the live stream than the one of YouTube, and I don't know why they do that, because I'm using the same phone but different apps, and the quality of the other one is much better. So, I don't have it. Grab this one. I think it's a bottle yesterday. I was using it to dry the floor, and I wash it. This is clean. Can you try not leave the floor all wet? Thank you. a minute. Are they? No, you're. Are they lifting the? Are they gonna lift the bridge? Okay, that's cool. Right, so let me see if I can explain what is going on in there. So you see the orange crane. I think they actually put the chain on the bridge. Hey, Dwayne, you are right on time, and I think they are going to lift up the bridge. Or maybe not. But I can see that they have the crane on the bridge. The security cables are holding the bridge. Oh my gosh, this is historical. This is historical. Right. And I think this one is gonna create lots of highlights. Hey Dwayne, how are you? So let me go a little bit back and refocus this. This is historical moment, my friends. They are lifting up the bridge that was placed in the harbor. Now, if they take that bridge, where in the world are they gonna place it? So you do need an extra lorry, don't you? Or are they thinking of placing it on top of that other lorry? No, I don't think so. Could it be that they got an extra lorry? Let's do this zoom in here. Let's do highlight. And let me, what I'm gonna do, yes, I think they're gonna lift it up. Yes, my friends, the bridge is going to be it's being lifted very slowly by the crane. And the thing about this bridge is that's not the bridge that goes in there, that's the bridge that they put in there because it's a heavy duty. bridge. The other one is a very thin bridge that you actually have chance for one person to walk at a time. The one that actually goes there is a very fragile, small, cute looking bridge. This one is the heavy duty one that they were using while fixing and replacing the things that they were doing, the work that they were doing there. So now that crane is already being latched in that bridge. It got the security cables on wells. It looked like metal chain, to be honest. I think they're metal chains. And the people, there is two guys in one side and there are three to the other side of the bridge. And I think they're gonna start moving that bridge around. Yeah, there is no problem if they remove the bridge because the other bridge is just there. But I don't know if they're gonna place it right away. Or what they're gonna do. But one thing is for sure, there is no problem if there is no bridge in there because people actually can walk around the harbor. Going down, there is an access from there. But this is, we can call it an historical event, my friends. And I'm very pleased to be here right now, this day and hour, with my live stream on. Because I could be just eating or cooking, but no, I'm in here with you, showing you this. Now, let's recap. We are in this Charlestown, historical port of Charlestown. This is in the United Kingdom, in the county of Cornwall. And this is a World Heritage. It's a Grade 2 listed harbour and is from the 18th century. This was a very busy port, very rich, owned by a guy in here. They used it to take out what is the china clay and the tin from mines. They use this port for that. But after so many years, probably 2 centuries, the old door that hold the water inside the harbor, it was already worn out. It wasn't holding the water in, so it have to be replaced because in this harbor they keep two amazing tall boats. Again, another heritage stuff. And this is an artificial harbor. You don't have a river running out that they are stopping the water. Nope. They fill up the harbor with the water that comes from the sea when the tide is up. And they close these doors and the water stays in there. So, because the doors were damaged, wasn't holding the water, it was creating a problem. So they replace it. Yes, it's a very, very expensive job that they're doing in there. It have taken a few years to do it, to reach this point. The doors are done, the bridge need to be replaced, and what we're looking at is the crane that is already been set in place, holding that bridge, and we are just waiting to see when they remove the bridge, if they're gonna remove it now, or what is going on. Oh yes, they're gonna do it. My friends, let me move you a little bit to the left. And as you can see, there is a small crane, that little blue thing, yeah. And in that, what is coming reversing is a lorry. that is a lorry. And let me put the phone down so my shaky hands doesn't mess with the view. So that's the lorry coming, reversing. So what I assume is that they are gonna take the old bridge. That's not the old bridge, but it's the heavy duty bridge. Oh goodness me, this, sorry again. This heavy duty bridge, they're gonna remove it and place it in the back of that lorry. I think I need to put something here before this. Yep. So to the left side is the lorry, the right side is the crane and the heavy duty bridge that is being already latched to the crane. It's been safely placed with some metal chain, and they are going to lift it up to place it in the back of that lorry. So I don't know if they are going to remove it and place the new bridge that is just sitting behind a fence. It's not actually visible from our angle, but there is already the bridge that's going to be replaced, or the original one. So interesting facts about this place. Well, in this port was used in many movies. One of those is the series called Poldark. There are other movies as well, but I don't remember them. But one of the ones that I do like is Alice in Wonderland. And if you have seen Alice in Wonderland, the one with Johnny Depp, there is one where Alice shows, I think it's the one with the Jabberwocky. And in that movie, she found herself and this and that. And the end of the movie, it shows her going on a tall boat in an adventure to see the world. And that scene, my friends, was recorded in this port. Now they're lifting the bridge and we're looking at it. And I'm gonna be quiet so you don't get annoyed by my voice. That's the heavy duty bridge that's been sitting in there, and it was used by the people who's working on that. To go up and down, because the original bridge is a very cute looking one actually. It's a very small bridge, very thin, very fragile, and when you cross it actually you need to wait for people from one side so you can go. It's like one-way bridge. Right, so moving a little bit in here, just I want to do a zoom, so I want to apologize if I mess with your eyes. Let me know if the image is not great or if I should open the view. Because I am actually looking at it with my bare eyes. So one thing is what I can see, one thing is what you are seeing. Wow, that is a very long bridge. Right. Now I wonder, because they took this bridge, are they gonna place the new one? That crane is amazing. You know, we are in the top of a hill in here, and we got relatively bird's eye view of what is going on down there, but we are not that far from them. Maybe 25 meters? Pretty cool. You know what is cool? There is CCTV in the pier house. So the pier house is the hotel and restaurant. They got CCTV, and there is some houses around here that have CCTV. So all this is being recorded by other people. But the day that they do if they do get a curator for those images, those files, I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I'm bringing you this live, my friends, and this is what is going on in here. Let me move this one again and place it against the window, because otherwise my hand is gonna be shaking and it's gonna mess up the pixels. Right, we got 1, 2, we got like 9 people working on the field. Pretty cool. My gosh, I forgot to have my breakfast and my tummy's rumbling now. But I don't want to move away from this because I'm just staring. Right. This. How cool is that? Oh, so that's it. Oh, wait. Are they gonna change the straps for a softer ones? No. So, what they did is they added some sort of soft straps to the chain that's holding the. Sorry, let me move you a little bit, and let's see what they're gonna hold in there now. Let's do some zoom. There are two workers next to the little white house, that box in there. Let's leave this. Right. So what are they gonna do? Right. So they got the soft straps that they put in the crane, because the crane still have this metal chain, but okay, they're gonna grab the metal bar, whatever it's called, that one. You know, that huge metal bar. Sorry, I don't know the names for those stuff. What if one day I get YouTube Premium and I get to edit this video? I figured out the names. Why will they just to the future generations? Anyway, they removed the duty free, heavy duty bridge that was in there that was used by the workers to go around and move the heavy stuff. Now they're removing all the things related to them, so stuff that have nothing to do with the harbor, clearing up. So one thing I'm wondering is, are they gonna place the new bridge today? Because they have this crane, so, and they got all the guys working and the weather is kind of good. So they're giving the signal with the hand like, yeah, turn it around, take it away, and they are just walking away. And I'm gonna move you again, guys. Sorry. Following this to go back to where they should be going. That is there. To the lorry. That structure with the guys walking is the heavy duty bridge that was placed in there. So now they are removing what was keeping the bridge in there holding. That metal bar they are taking is the one supporting the bridge, because this is a second grade listed harbor, so they have to look after even the most simple little stone because it's history. They cannot be damaging the place. So I'm gonna create another highlight and keep it safe because I'm gonna make an archive of this. For you who doesn't know, this harbor is an 18th century harbor. 18th or 17th century. It's very old and it's a grade 2 listed harbor and is one of the World Heritage by the UNESCO. And what they're doing, what they've been doing for the next couple of years is they've been working on replacing the gate that holds the water inside the harbor and the old bridge that was completely corroded. It was a hazard. So it took some time for them because they have to replace the bridge and the doors with the same style and the same model that was used the first time when they built the harbor because it's a grade 2 listed. So everything that's gonna be replaced, it have to be replaced with the same. So it have to be custom made. Now they're moving again. Sorry, I'm moving you again to see what they're gonna do there. So it's been taking a couple of years for this to reach this point. Today they remove some floating devices that they had in the harbor that they were using as a platform for the workers when they were working on the engine that open and close the gates of the harbor and lift the bridge when ships go in or out of the harbor. Now they're removing the heavy duty bridge that they were using and all the equipment that they had in there. So what I'm wondering now is, are they going to place the new bridge today? Because cranes, they hire the cranes for the day. So they have to do as much as they can with that crane in the day. Right, now they are just moving some equipment, ropes and stuff in a crate. And no, there's a pallet. Sorry, moving you again. And truly sorry if I'm messing with your eyes and the pixels and this and that. That look more like debris. Anyway, that's a massive, massive crane. See how tall is it? Compared with the little humans down there. They do look like Lego mans. So I counted before like 9 people working on the field that I could actually see with these clothes. I don't know the people who are behind. I didn't count the guy operating the crane, so there must be 8. 8 right here. There were 2 in the other side, so there were like 10 people. Pretty shocked. I can hear a buzzing, and I'm not sure if it's a drone that they're using to record this. Because last time they were doing some work and there was a drone. Right, crane is going again. So where is it going? I'm gonna open the Zoom for this video, so I just warning you, my friends. Okay, there, that's what's going on. As the crane doing its job. Now they're gonna get the other metal bar that was helping to keep the bridge on place, because there was one in this side and one in the opposite side, and that heavy duty bridge was sitting on top of it. So the worker is just tying up the crane, how you call that? The chain, those tentacles are going to hold that metal bar, and I suppose they're gonna lift it again and place it in top of that lorry. And the tie is going out, so that's gonna be interesting. I should go later to do some small videos down there. I don't think they're gonna put the other crane in there. What time is it? Right now is 11:59, 12 o'clock. There's lunchtime. All this is happening in lunchtime, and we are live from Cornwall in the United Kingdom, England. So there are 8 men on the field, and the crane operator. Plus lots of people walking around, curious, taking pictures, recording, and us. I think there are too many workers in there, so they might be going to place the bridge in there. They still have a massive hose pumping water out of the harbor when they are doing the job. Okay, that look like ropes. What they're lifting in there with a crane now. Yes, it's a bunch of ropes. It's a shame, it's quite dark. It's cloudy, so you don't get much reflection of the light, so we don't get that nice view. It's cloudy now, the sun is behind us. But I think it's good. Hey, Cam. You missed it. You missed it. We have the most amazing Lego Man activity in our little builder's world. I think they're done for today, to be honest. Or maybe they're just in the lunch break. That guy's eating. Right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close this live stream now and I'm gonna do it again. So I don't have that many. This is already 3 hours. So what I'm gonna do is gonna close this one and make a second live stream because otherwise it's gonna be too long. Right, so that's the plan. I'm gonna close this live stream, let the YouTube process the video and open a new live stream with the second part of what is going on in here because this is very interesting. Well, at least to me. Okay? Right, I'm gonna do that now.